Good evening and welcome to the Whisky Lover Society with me, Gert Retief. Straight to the whiskey. Tonight we are doing the Kilkerran 12-year-old. It is a single malt. It is from Campbeltown. So it is produced and distilled in the Glengyle distillery. It is bottled at 46% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered. It is matured in ex-bourbon casks as well as ex-sherry casks. So they give us a little bit more detail on this one. So 70% of the maturation is comes from ex-bourbon cask, and then they have a 30% of the maturation comes from the sherry cask finish. So cost-wise, I did find a bottle in my online store for about €50 for a bottle. So not bad for a 12-year-old, bottled at 46% ABV, but of course it's all about the taste. So color-wise, I was expecting it to be a little bit more darker, so I was a little bit surprised. So the sherry influence is obviously not that much. So I do expect the ex-bourbon cask to have a bigger influence on the whiskey. So on the nose, cheers. Now, I wasn't expecting that. Now, for the little bit of research that I did do, and it says nothing about being any peated or smoked whiskey. But I do get a hint of a smoke, but very, very subtle. Right at the back, first thing that I noticed, that was a little bit of a smoke on it. So it's a very subtle 46% ABV. I was expecting it to find a nose. So very light on the nose. And it reminds me a little bit It reminds me a little bit of a marshmallows that you roast over a open fire. So you get that sweetness of the burnt sugars in it, but a hint of it reminds me a little bit of that's when you make the s'mores, when you put your little marshmallow between two little biscuits. Quite similar to that. Really nice on the nose. So definitely, I get a hint of a smoke, but very faint. And I get a little bit of a briny, salty air type of nose to it. That reminds me a little bit of a smoky type of whiskey. I did not expect that. A little bit of a fruity note also coming out. There's a little bit of a funky note. I cannot identify it. I'm not sure what it is. But there's a little strange note that I pick up and I don't even know how to describe it. So light on the sweetness as well. I do get a little bit of a green pear note coming out. A little bit of a vanilla note also. Sherry-wise, I don't get anything that will remind me of sherry. If somebody told me that had got some sherry in it, I do not pick up anything like that. So taste-wise, cheers. Yeah, this is really nice. It is very subtle. There's a sweetness. And now definitely on the taste, I get a hint of the smoke. But it is very light. It's a sweet smoke with I can't even say with a hint of oak. It is just sweet smoke coming out, a little savory type of smoke, more like a bacony type of smoke coming out. And then it goes into a hint of a toffee note. Really, really nice. So let me just try again. I do take very small sips. Even at 46%, it can be quite harsh on the taste buds. I don't get a lot of that 46%. I get a sweetness, I get a little bit of a toffee note, a very slight hint of oak appearing now on the taste. A hint of a honey note, a little bit of a fruity note coming out, a little bit of a briny type of note coming out, a little bit of a salty note coming out as well. Maybe something like a salted caramel. So for me, I would probably not add any water. For me, it is quite perfect the way it is. But just as an experiment, I will add a little bit of water. So normally I would not add water to 46%, and especially this one, it's quite nice on the 46%. I don't have a lot left, so I've got some water in a glass. But in this one, I'm going to do it drop-wise. I do not want to overwater this one. So in this glass, I think I will just start off maybe with half a teaspoon of water, just to see what it does. So the Kilkerran with a little bit of water added, a little bit of a shaky on the nose. It does take water well. It did tone down the alcohol, which wasn't much in the beginning, but it did tone it down a little bit for me. There's a little bit of a Scottish mist forming, not much though. So on the nose with a bit of water, a little bit more floral for me, a little bit more citrus notes coming out. Also a little bit of a fruit salad nose coming out with pineapples and pears, maybe a little bit of an apple, all the tropical type of fruits in it. And I still get that hint of a smoke. Just a hint, but it's really, really pleasant. So taste with a little bit of water. It makes quite a big difference for me. So I do get the smoky flavor still. I get a hint of toasted coconuts. I get a little bit of a briny note as well, a little bit of a salty note, a little bit of a creamy mouthfeel, a little bit of an oily, creamy mouthfeel to it. Reminds me a little bit of a vanilla custard. It does take water well. Be careful, a couple of drops at a time. You can always put more in, but you can't take it out. So for me, that half a teaspoon, I think, was perfect. But I think for me, without the water was also nice. But it makes it a little bit more smoother for me when you add the water, especially if you are not used to the high ABV whiskies. So on the finish, it's nice. It's like a nice oily coating in your mouth. So in the finish, you start off with a sweetness, but it's not overly sweet. When I get the smokiness, I get a little bit of a saltiness in it, a little bit of a toffee note. When it goes into a little bit of a fresh pear note, and then right at the back, in the end, you get a little bit of a oakiness, a little bit of a bitter note, very subtle, something similar to a residue of when you had your last cup of coffee. So quite nice. Score-wise, I am going to give it an 87 out of 100. I will definitely buy it again. Love to share this with my friends to get their thoughts on it. Have you tried the Kilkerran 12-year-old? What do you think about it? Is it something that you would recommend? Any other Kilkerrans that you have tried? Drop me a comment to see which one I should try next. I did try the old, the 2018, I think, 8-year-old sherry cask, Loved it. That is also very nice. So please, if you like my content, remember to subscribe. And always welcome to leave as many comments as you like. I do like to talk to you guys. I try to contact everybody and reply back to your comments. Also remember, I do have a merchandise store, and remember, all of the proceeds will go towards some needy children in South Africa. We are looking after 85 families at this moment, so every cent will help. So, Neo, see you next time. Cheers.